So let's just tidy this up a little bit. Put them up like that. No, yeah, that's fine. If you, this kind of nice thing to do as well, if you select them all and then hold A and then click and drag, you can see it kind of lays them out a bit nicer. So I'm gonna alt-click and drag on this, and very nicely gives me automatically phase 2. So I'm gonna, let me just turn that visualizer off. I'm gonna dive in here and start, you know, we can recycle this setup and just delete things that we don't want. So up to here we're fine. Subdivide is fine. Mask by feature, we'll probably reuse that but change it. This part I'm not going to be using, you know, creating this rest geometry. We're not going to play with the normals or the color. You know, the color will just come from the textures. Attribute from pieces we will use, but probably change it, and then we'll make, you know, we'll obviously be bringing in a whole load of other pieces of geometry. So let's bring in those pieces of geometry. So the way to do that in Houdini, you know, we've got them in another place here, another subnet, another SOP kind of area, is to use an object merge. So, well, we can start with the starfish. Find that geometry. This is a bit, if I think you press L, that's for layout, so that will kind of tidy everything up for you. And we just want, so if we come here, press spacebar and F, should see the starfish. You can see all different LODs. So I'm just going to grab LOD as 0, Control C on that, come back out to OBJ level, back into phase 2, and then type OM for object merge, and this will bring in that geometry to this network. And there's my starfish. Okay, so I'll leave that there. Then I will go and find, let's see, all the corals. So beach corals. So let's start with pack 0. So we got them all split out here. So I just need to select all of these nulls. Control C. And then back out here. You know what we could do to make this quicker is split pane left and right, pin both of these. Okay, we don't really need the viewport at the moment. And then that means I can go back and forward here. So phase 2, another object merge. And then paste that there. That will give me all the corals. They will be kind of overlapped like that, so I'll just have to come in and split them up, but that's okay. You can see it's running a little bit slowly here, so what I'm going to do is set this to manual, and that will stop the viewport updating. So that's coral. Maybe we should write notes on here as well. Starfish. You can kind of see it down there, but just in case, let's say coral 0. And this one, I'm just copying and pasting that for the next coral. So go in there and grab all these. Oops. So shift click, Control C, come in here, double click to select it all, and then Control V, and that will be coral 1. Perfect. Move these over. What else do I want? So I've got both coral, starfish, seaweed. Again, you know, I'm using the highest level of detail. You can use any others. If you find that you don't have enough RAM, you can also just copy less geometry onto, so, you know, just drop this number down. Okay, the coverage, or the, where are you? This number, drop this down as well later on if you find that your computer's running slowly. Okay, but I'm going to go with the LOD 0, so Control C there, Shift click, Control C, come here, get another object merge. Could just copy and paste that one, doesn't matter really. So here we've got what, ocean seaweed 0, seaweed 0, and then we've got one more seaweed to get. Copy all these, shift click, Control C, object merge, Control V, and then we got seaweed 1. Seaweed 1. There. Okay, now I can get rid of this window and start kind of splitting. So the starfish is by itself, so that's fine. The coral, let's split that up. My Houdini crashed there for some reason. I'm not sure why. That's why it's important to always save as you're going along. Just be careful with this. Now, you know, if you plugged out all of this into here and then visualize that, you probably crash your Houdini because you'd have millions of points kind of overlapped. So yeah, we were going to split these apart. Starfish is by itself, that's fine. The corals, let's drop a split. And all a split will do is delete one thing. It's kind of like isolate whatever you put in this group and everything else will come out this side. Okay, so it's like only if you double click, go inside, it's a delete and delete non-selected. Okay, so in here we've got groups and there's one for each of those rocks. They don't really have handy useful names, which is a bit annoying. It's just kind of random letters and then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is, you know, a bit better. So I just put a split there and then alt click and drag on that split. So this will be all the other rocks, and then select, get rid of that and select the other one. So I'll go to 01. So you can see there's a pattern there, 01, 00, 01, 02, 03, 04. So it's easier if we just do this. 02 and then 03, so we'll get 03 here and 04 on the other side there if I drop a null just to take a look at the result. So there's no more overlapping rocks there. Got that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. Okay, so we got them all. And again, we could do that layouts thing. If I press A and drag to the side, there we go. Make it a bit more neat and tidy. Drag them all over to here. Okay, and then we'll need to do the same with these as well. We'll probably need quite a bit more space. Okay, bring them over. Let's make the viewport smaller because we don't need it. So with these, is that not, do I not have them all overlapping there? Let's try. I feel like there's only one rock there. Could be just because of the colors. No, we've got them all there, yeah. Okay, so same deal again. 00, 01, 02, 03, and then we'll have 04 at the other side. The plants, I think I'm just going to use the first 2 of each of them. That's what I did before, so I'll just do the same again. Another split. Okay, and then just grab... oh, okay. I can see I've got the same... You can see it by the naming of this. I've got different LODs of the same variation, right? So that's not what I want. I'm going to... Right, let's correct that. Split pane left and right. Let's go pin both of these. Yeah. And then go into my Ocean Seaweed 0. And then into variation 1. And I want LOD 1. Sorry, LOD, you know, the highest LOD. Okay, so, and then I'm going to paste that in there. Alt click and drag. And then variation 2. Grab that. There we go. Okay, so now we should just have one model in each of these. So Seaweed 0, version 1, Seaweed 0, so for the textures I'll need that, version 2. Okay, and then I think it will be the same thing here as well, even, well, it's not showing me anything for some reason. So Ocean Seaweed 1, variation 1, Control C, Control V, that's, there we go. Yeah. So seaweed 1, space, version 1, alt click and drag, and then grab that version 2, or variation 2 as they name it. Paste that in there. And it's not working for some reason. Try that again. Control C. Oh, that needs to be in there. That's why. There we go. I can see my mistake. I'm putting them into the group here. It needs to go in object. There we go. I didn't do the same here. There we go. Okay, so we've got 2 different types of seaweed there. Got another 2 types of seaweed, and then all of the rocks. So we've got loads of objects to scatter over the geometry.